Kenny Omega is returning to AEW, and it might be soon. Fellas, do we have a lot to talk about? Because my favorite AEW champion of all time, not named the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, is about to make a return. He has been training in Japan with Kota Ibushi. There's been talk that he was in Japan in order to get new gear. As we know, Kenny likes to get his gear from Japan, all imported, because he's making that big NBA money. And on top of that, on top of all of it, we're getting more and more references from the elite about Kenny Omega. They even reference his 41st birthday on Dynamite this past week. We got to go
41st birthday?
41st birthday. He is. He you know what? He's younger compared to some of these other guys rolling around here. But we go from the god of pro wrestling, whose name is Kenny, to the god of Kissthering, whose name is Kenny Baum. Kenny Baum, what do you think about Kenny Omega potentially returning? What does this mean for AEW? How big is it? Let me know.
Whoa. Well, I got to say this. Kenny Omega, as you just said, turned 41. This man has to come back and he has to cook, because I feel like he has not left his mark on America yet. He's done it up in Japan, but when he was in AEW, like he stopped Kiro from watching with the 69 Me Dawn stuff. So I don't think he left as big of an impact as he should have in AEW, and the way he has been leapfrog needs to be studied. Kenny Omega, generational talent, one of the best in the world, but he's letting that pass him by. Unfortunately, it is mainly because of injury and, him trying to get over stuff, but I feel like now is the time he needs to maximize his minutes. I'm not a New Japan guy. That's what I don't care about. But when Kenny Omega was in there with, who was it, Bryan Danielson? Oh, my goodness. That Iron Man match they had, oh my goodness, the boy was cooking. So Kenny Omega, again, one of the best in the world. When he comes back, he can't play around. He can't be on 1 week, off 1 week. I think he needs to come in there, get that AEW championship, and he needs to cook, man. That's all I got to say about the boy. He's got to cook.
First of all, I want to note, shout out to Kero, by the way. It would not take that much for him to stop liking something. That man will just crash out over.
Remember Ricochet debuted in AEW and right afterwards,
no, it's
Ricochet is cooked.
He said it for Hulk Hogan. That doesn't work for me, brother. Shout out to Kero.
Shout out to Kero. We love him to death.
Brian, though, I want to get your thoughts on here, because you're someone who, you definitely like the WWE product a little bit more, but you got to admit, Kenny Omega, he did his thing for a little bit there. You know what I'm saying? For sure. Brian, but let me know, bro. What do you think about Kenny potentially returning?
Bro, you know what I'm saying, bro? I think it's going to be good for the elite. You know what I mean? The elite angle, that joint going to go well, if you feel what I'm saying. But I don't know, bro. What y'all laughing at, bro? What y'all laughing at over there, bro?
The WWE representative.
Nah, bro, because
he holding his tongue. He's like, he knows Kenny's about to cook. Come on, bro.
Nah, bro. Kenny about to cook, bro. But I don't feel like he's as big of a deal. Like, I gotta agree with that with Kenny. You know what I'm saying? He's just, I feel like he's still Kenny Omega. Don't get me wrong, but he could have been so much bigger than what we have right now, bro. And I think that's partly on Kenny and even the elite, because I think the Young Bucks could be a lot bigger than what they are now. And I think that the reason is they kind of let themselves get ahead, and they're like, oh, we can afford to take all these losses and put all these people over, and then here we are now. I feel like it's one of those things, bro, where you could have some matches you just got to win, bro. Like, I remember the Young Bucks, they put themselves, they let FTR go on ahead and take that W, and it's a win that they probably needed more. It's just something that they all do, and I get it, because you are a founder of the company, so you feel like you don't want to book yourself in all the winning moments. But at the end of the day, bro, you guys are stars, and I think that that's something that hurt Kenny in the long run for sure.
You bring up a good point there, Brian. That was something that, like, the original four members, founding members of AEW, like, I think we look back and, like, they all got that wrong, right? Because Cody took himself out of the world title picture, which was one of the biggest mistakes early on in AEW. You had Kenny and the Young Bucks both also taking big losses in their early runs, and I think it did start to feel weird. But that's when, like, Tony Khan kind of said, "Hey guys, I'm taking the book. Like, this is my show now." And then what did he do immediately? He tried to rectify those wrongs. He put Cody in the TNT title. Like, he gave him that title, basically. He gave him that division. He made the Young Bucks the star of the tag team division. He made Kenny Omega the like world champion, and we saw that slowly get right. Kenny Omega, like outside of like, everything he represents to like the typical AEW fan base, I think he has this like weird mythical status even amongst like casual wrestling fans. Cause like, it's like one of those things you hear his name and you just think like,
He
oh man,
appears. My bad.
I believe in Kenny Omega too though. But like even like casual wrestling fans, they hear Kenny Omega's name like, oh, like that's a Rough Rider. That's like a dude he's that dude, right? I think him coming back and hopefully, God willing, no injuries, no diverticulitis. Like this was out of his hands. That was a life-threatening thing. Like he was literally hours away from death. Like when he was cutting a promo in the middle of Dynamite with pain in his abdomen, So like it's tough to see how that played out. But I think the one thing that we hope to see from Omega is recapturing momentum. And it is hard because he goes away after losing the belt to rehab his injuries. And then what happens? He comes back immediately. Brawl out happens. The fight, whatever we don't want to get into that, but the fight happens. Suspension, comes back in, gets put in the stuff with Jericho, diverticulitis. So I just hope that we get to see Kenny Omega get back to doing what he does best, and that is just being better than everyone in the ring. Because one thing we can agree on, I don't think there's anyone who wrestles like Kenny Omega. Like he's got his own style. He makes everything look like cerebral and almost video game-esque. And he's like got that big bulky body, bro. He's like a super heavyweight kind of vibe. Like it's crazy to see him wrestle. And that's what I'm looking forward to most. And the story with the Elite, let's be honest, it's been missing a piece for the past, 3-4 months. It's been missing Kenny Omega. It feels like they've just been treading water until Kenny comes back. So that's what I hope to see from him when he gets back. But Kenny, I got a question for you. Do you think that Kenny Omega is enough to save this Elite storyline?
Bro, nothing can save the Elite. But the Young Bucks, they need to get up out of here, man. You know what? I don't know what it is. I gave them shot after shot after shot and chance after chance after chance. I used to love being the Elite on YouTube, but I just feel like they hurt themselves too much. And right now, I just can't believe them. Like, Matt Jackson's doing the car salesman voice thing now. And every time I hear it, I'm just like, bro, what are you doing? Like, I don't buy it. And they said Private Party was supposed to be the champions, and now they're on TV saying that doesn't work for us, brother. So,
I found that kind of funny.
Yeah, but they said it on Twitter, and I feel like they was like, you know what, that was kind of funny. Let's say it on TV. So that's what kind of hit me in the head when I heard it. But you know what? I don't know. They do need something, but it seems like they were picking at Kenny Omega on Dynamite. So it sounds like Kenny Omega is going to come, maybe knock them off the rails, save AEW, and now and then it's time for another reset. Matt and Nick Jackson need to figure something out, because just like Kenny Omega, I feel like he hasn't quite performed in AEW. That's really because he hasn't been there. But Matt and Nick Jackson, they've just been trying and failing and trying and failing. So they got to figure it out even worse than Kenny Omega does.
Interesting. Brian, what do you think, though?
About
does Kenny Omega have the ability to save the Elite storyline?
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
To me, I mean, it'll probably make it interesting first week, but to me, it's pretty much very garbo at that point, if you feel what I'm saying. So I don't know, bro. I mean, is it? Nah, Brett ain't saving it, bro. To me, the Young Bucks are probably like just very uninteresting. When they attacked Tony Khan at one point, I was like, okay, something's heating up here, but it started cooling back down again. And to me, they're just very uninterested right now. So that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, I think here's the thing, right? There is an interesting path they could go to, because you have Mox doing this invasion of AEW, and if you watch Dynamite, it was like this thing where the Elite saw it was happening and they were like, oh damn, that's what a real invasion is. And I think there is something they can pull from that in the long run, because I suspect Kota Ibushi is probably who Kenny Omega is going to come back with. I think they're going to hit the Elite with a golden shower, and they're going to win the AEW tag team title. That's the finishing move. Let me tell you now. Shout out to my New Japan homies who know that. but I think that's going to be probably where they go. And then I think there's an interesting path where they realize, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks kind of realize that the only way they can save AEW is by uniting. And then hopefully we get the Young Bucks being, faces again. And we get honestly, what the company was built on, the Elite being together. At the end of the day, when they first ruptured the Elite with the Hangman stuff, that was some of the best storytelling in wrestling history. And that was great. And you could argue they could have gone back to it, but I think they went back to it a little bit too soon, and it was not fleshed out. This just has not worked. I think Kenny Omega is going to add a lot of excitement to it. But at the end of the day, we need to see this group back together because AEW is stronger when the Elite are together, and the Elite as a whole are stronger when they are together. But I guess we'll see.
Big Om, I'm not going to lie to you. That was pretty cool what you had to say, but it doesn't matter what you think about it. Let us know in the comment section what y'all think about Kenny Omega returning to AEW. Will it make a difference, or is that what y'all don't care about? Thank y'all for watching. Kiss the ring.